Hello, everybody. Sorry for being so late today. Had to wait up on everybody getting ready. And welcome to Gamer Guardians podcast. I'm your host, Danny Martinez, who is the Drunken Guardian. Got myself a drink as always. And today we got Danny, the Sober Guardian, and uh, Boneless Bones, Kevin. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
I finally came back.
Say what?
Finally came back.
Yeah, right.
What's going on, guys? It's your man Bonus Bones back at it again with the
Back at it
delivery fee.
again with the anything is
And
possible.
anything is possible if you believe hard enough.
So this is again episode 88 of the podcast. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you guys for holding on for anybody who's in chat. Holy shit, we have Danny on video.
I'm telling him. I'm telling him. I hope it's really dirty.
Oh,
Yeah,
Danny's
Danny's traveling right now, so yeah, he's in a hotel room.
Andy, can you show us the UAB?
It's really like my clothes are everywhere. I don't want to go to. It's just like I'm a slob right now.
Oh man. So I mean,
really bad underwear. I'll touch the shit, so.
we got a super short show today. I mean, we got maybe two articles that we could breeze by really quick, and mostly I want to talk about the last topic, which is our main topic on the podcast, which is pretty much just how if developers should be nerfing single player game experience, like weapons and armor and magic and things like that, because there's a nerfing controversy thing going on with Elden Ring right now, which we'll get to at some point. But I wanted to talk about just what we've been playing, because I've been playing a shit ton of stuff and I've been wanting to talk about it for a while. But before I even do that, do you guys want to talk about anything you've been playing?
Yeah, I do. Oh, you want to go first, Kevin? Because I always go. I talk a lot.
No. We didn't have you last week. Go on.
Partially. I I I I was traveling, so I reached out to you guys. So Danny really the one who responded for some Switch games because I've on the podcast a few times shitted on a lot of the more indie type games, the smaller, lower budget, one single A games. So I reached out to him. He gave me a shitload of recommendations, and I kind of OD'd and got a bunch of them all at once. So probably should have just stick to one, but that was kind of fun. So was it Carrion? Is the first one?
Carrion, yeah. When you play as like a monster.
Yeah, the alien. Fucking, I love the way it moves.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way I don't like the graphics so much because this is like an older game, but just the way you move and the idea behind it is fucking very addicting and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see how you evolve, kind of thing. I'm like curious. I didn't get very far. I didn't play it for a little bit because I got way too many games all at once. Probably just stick to one, but. That's the part where you first play as a human and start moving them around. I was like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. All right. And I don't know if that goes on, but
no. Well, towards the end.
Towards the end, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like more if it's storyline type of thing. Like you just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. It was good.
Yeah.
Was it Hollow Knight, which is hard as fuck. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I love that game. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was like almost not fun hard. Fun, I mean, I had a little fun. I'm like, fuck. I'll come back to this. And I played a little bit more. That fucking was hard though. And then I got the Guacamole game, which I'm loving that. That's just a fun fucking
really good humor.
Yeah, not even the humor. I really like just the combos like you can pull off and everything. Like
yeah. I know you're big on air combos and stuff. They got a lot of juggling combos.
I just want to beat the shit out of these guys until they die. Until I pop combo. I'm like, that's just a fighting game within a side-scrolling game. That was actually kind of fun. I expect that, At first, I'm like, oh, it's just a punch kick. I get it. You probably get some powers. Yeah, and then oh no, you grab. Okay. Oh, what you do? You toss them up in the air and start hitting air combos. Oh, wait, you blast them and then hit them in the air and then slam them down and they keep. Oh, this is really fun. And the game I've been having the most fun with is the Nobody Saves the World. Have you
I was just playing that.
Holy
that. It's so fun.
That game, I played that game the most. I played in that order. I played all the games, right? And then I played Guacamole for about an hour, and then the other 4 hours I played just the fucking Nobody Saved the World. Fucking loving that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love RPGs. You know that. So this is like a really fun and it's funny and it's interesting and the way they do the rat and like the morphing and having to use the morphine as like different powers. I'm like, this is a fun fucking game. Like this is really fun. And so I've been having a blast with that right now. You know, out of all of them, I think obviously that and the Guacamole game are my two favorite, hands down.
I only played the Nobody Saves the World game today, because it's on Xbox Game Pass, which I wanted to like praise that shit again, because there's 3 games on my PlayStation list that I planned on buying, and one of them was Nobody Saves the World, and they have it on Game Pass, and there's other 2 games that I planned on buying, and they have it on Game Pass. So now I could play those games for free because I have an Xbox. So I'm having fun with that. I'm playing. I played Nobody Saves the World. All I did was grind. So I unlocked like the horse, the turtle, the mermaid. Fuck. What else? Of course the arrow, the ranger person, and the knight person. Because you kind of yeah. So like all I've been doing, like I haven't even got through the first castle yet. All I've been doing was grinding the first 2 dungeons over and over and over again to upgrade everybody. Because I'm having so much fun with that shit. Kevin, have you played that game? Or
No,
do you know of it?
Yeah, I've heard about that game. I heard whispers and goose and gas about it, but I've never really heard anybody talk about it. It's just like it's probably one of those games and forget about it. But every time I hear about it, it's like everybody's like, "Man, this game is fucking amazing. You should try. If you
Yeah.
haven't played it, you should try it." And I'm like, "Fucking, I might as well just
Yeah,
get it."
yeah.
So I'm looking for it now. Is it? Do you think it's also on Switch?
It's definitely on Steam.
I got it for Switch.
Yeah, it's definitely on Steam. It's on Switch. It's on Xbox. I'm not sure if it's on PlayStation, but if it's on Xbox, it's usually on PlayStation, I would assume.
It was like 19. It was like $19, $20, something
okay.
like that. I was actually surprised, you know, obviously, because but Guacamole was basically free because I have points. It's like $3. The
Yeah.
carrying game, $2. Like all these games were like just a few bucks, and I'm like, wow. I think
That's why you went crazy on them.
yeah, that's why I bought a bunch of them. Because only just I put $100 in the card, and then I'm like, I still have like $60 left. What the hell? You know?
He's like, "Hey, come on, do something. More."
That's why I have bought a bunch of them because they basically didn't cost anything. So,
Yeah.
Man's really threw $100 thinking you on indie games. I'm like,
and he expected to spend $100.
I didn't pay $59. I was thinking like $20 each, honestly. So
Yeah.
I was thinking probably 4 games, maybe $20 each. I would need $100.
All the games that I had recommended to you have been out for at least 2 years, so that's why they cost a lot less now too.
But like $3.75, like why just get the game for free? What the fuck?
Yeah.
At that point.
Still at this point.
Kevin, you've been playing anything?
Oh shit! What haven't I been playing? So I went back to my backlog of Switch games, and I first started off with I'm gonna name it in order. Dragon's Mark for Death. It's like I don't know if you guys played Gunvolt.
Sounds
Gunvolt,
familiar.
It's like the Mega Man game that came out for the DS, like the 3DS, a couple years ago. If you look, besides that, there's a character that it was like, you know what, in Mighty Number 9 when he does that dash and then he could shoot them, and then he gets points for it.
Yeah.
So in this game, they have 4 different play styles. They have a mage, a tank or like a heavy attacker, a ninja, and then they have like a girl with a broadsword. And then they have 2 more characters, and I think that they're pretty much the same as 2 of the characters. It's like another mage and another ninja. And in this game, you can dash into the combat is like if you take Mega Man and you give him the ability to dash into enemies, and then he jumps up and he could do other attacks. So it's like I love air combat, like in general, or air combos, and I love maneuvering in the Mega Man games. So I'm playing this game and I'm like level 50, like level 30, and then I'm doing like level 30 missions. I'm getting beat up, and I'm like, fuck this game. I go to the sky, do a mission, spend 45 minutes for my main unit to die, turn the game off. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play.
What was this game on?
Switch. It's on the Switch.
What's the name of it?
Yeah.
Getting more
Dragon,
stuff.
Dragon Marked for Death.
Sounds like a Steven Seagal movie.
No, it looks like
Mark for Death has the name of a movie. Hold on, Mark
for Death.
Yeah, that's got to be an action movie.
Oh, it's definitely an action movie.
It is 1990. Mark to Death. Steven Seagal.
Damn, I'm right.
He was the lead director in this game. That's why every time you see him,
Oh.
they have a ponytail and it's crazy.
That's good.
Uh,
That's
oh my
funny.
god.
Damn, I called it.
Man's out here calling it. He was like, bro, that's a reference.
Right. That's a
But
reference.
Yep.
I've been playing Dragon's Mark for Death, a little bit of Disgaea. I've been on Xenoverse a lot too, and I'm slowly getting back to playing Breath of the Wild so that I can just beat the game. Breath of the Wild is going to take the longest because I just
You trying to
re-downloaded
100% it?
No, I'm just trying to beat the game.
Okay.
It's not if I because I experienced Elden Ring and I was like I know it's a different game, but I love the open world aesthetic, so I'm trying to give Breath of the Wild another try and be like enjoy the game for what it is. Not don't worry about beating everything and getting everything done at once because you can just play the game again from the beginning. But it's gonna be a long ride, man. I'm not excited for it.
Breath of the Wild will keep you busy, especially play it, let it draw out as much as you can because hopefully you can play it and then right afterwards you'll play Breath of the Wild 2, at some point next year.
Now after Breath of the Wild, I'm gonna do the Hyrule games. I'm gonna beat both of them, and then I'm gonna do Fire Emblem because I want to finish the Fire Emblem Three Houses, and then I want to finish Warriors again for the Switch. So I got a lot of shit to do, and the Muso games is easy because I'm just gonna pick one unit, run through, kill everybody, go to the boss.
They're never challenging.
Shit. Yeah, but
Kevin, if you get the Nobody Saves the World on the Switch, let me know because it's 2 players.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
I didn't know. I remember playing and having an option, and I was like, and then I also played the Guacamole. I'm like, wow, these actually it's a multiplayer. This is interesting. Yeah. So I went and I looked it up real quick, and I'm like, 2 players.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, so I beat Elden Ring, of course. Yeah.
Hold on. Dan, so what have you been playing?
Thank you, sir. So I've been so I beat Elden Ring, as you guys already know, and I got the fire, the frenzied flame ending, and then afterwards I turned on New Game Plus after I felt like I got enough done in the game. I know I didn't get everything obviously, but I turned on New Game Plus and I got through the first 2 bosses, Margit and whoever the second one is with the dragon hand. Yeah.
Joffrey.
So I got through it and I was just like, you know what? I don't want to play this anymore. I think I'm actually getting bored of this game. So I dropped that and I jumped back on Horizon and I played that for like 2 days. And then I got that I don't want to play this right now. Like this is pretty much the same thing. We discussed this before, that Horizon is pretty much, Horizon part 1 2.0. So it's a lot of the same thing right now, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this right now. Maybe I'll jump on it when I have nothing else. So I'm keeping it on my hard drive, and that's when I decided to buy Tiny Tina. So I bought Tiny Tina, and I've been loving that game. Like Danny convinced me to get it. I just got on 21, so I hit 20, and I did the dual class.
24.
Yeah,
24.
24. So I'm catching up. So I was just able to dual class, and what I am is I forget what they're called, but I can throw the hammer and it's like a thunder hammer like Thor, or I can slam it. And then my second class is the dark necromancy type dude with the dark magic stuff.
Yeah.
So I have two creatures with me the entire time, helping me fight through everything, which is a lot of fun. Weapons are so much fun. The humor is still good as always. The overworld thing is hilarious and fun to do too. So I've been having fun with that. But then I did jump on my Xbox because there is one game specifically that I wanted to play for a long time, and I was hesitant to buy it. Is this low budget EA game called Lost in Random. And it's it's somewhat of a platformer, somewhat of an action strategy type game where you get a random set of cards. Think of a hack and slash game, but you have a set of cards and you use those cards to your advantage in order to deal certain damage and stuff like that. And I'm actually really interested in this game because I'm already maybe 2 hours into it and nothing has happened gameplay wise, but the
Mhm.
story is actually very interesting. And I think Danny would really like this. It's got a really heavy Tim Burton, like dark aesthetic vibe, mixed with a little bit of Psychonauts. Not so much like the platforming style of Psychonauts, but just the look and the feel of it. So Lost in Random, I've been playing again on Game Pass, and
Is it
then
only for the Xbox or?
no, it came out. It came out on PlayStation because I have it on my PlayStation list, which I have to take it off now because obviously I'm not going to buy it. So
Okay.
you can try it out. I don't know if it's on Switch. Um, and then of course Nobody Saves the World, which was on my list as well. So I played that and had fun with it. So I was playing that just before we started the podcast. So I've been grinding with that stuff, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, so those games I've been playing so far. I'll be playing a lot more when school's done, which is next week. Next week is my finals, so I'll get that done, and I'll have 3 weeks off. Whereas I'm gonna play the shit out of all my games and try to catch up before my summer classes start. So yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could.
my work schedule got me going. Next week I have to go to Bradenton. I have to travel to Florida for some training shit. So now it might be a Thursday. I don't fucking know. And then if it's not, I'll be away for 2 days and then coming back home. So
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
that's just why I want to jump on that. And then after that, I'm going to fucking Ohio for training stuff. And then it's just works fun.
Being an adult is fun.
Having to adult.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. My schedule might change, but I picked up a second job, so
Oh, okay.
we'll see how that get.
What?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I picked up a second job.
Yeah.
We'll see how
Nice.
that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Okay. All right, so let's get to the articles real quick. The first one we can get through really fast, unless you really have something to say about it. But again, back
No,
to
I
the
always
whole
do.
back to the whole what do you call it? The movie trend right now with video games. It's getting ridiculous. Like TV shows and movies and stuff. So the first article we got, I found it from Game Informer. They're announcing that a Streets of Rage the video game is becoming a movie, and I know me and
God.
Danny, at the very least, I know Kevin will probably know too, obviously, but at least me and Danny would know Streets of Rage is an old school brawler game in
Mhm.
the 80s and 90s. So they
Mhm.
had just released like Streets of Rage 4.
And it did terrible.
Yeah, it was like in
It did terrible.
2020. It was like an actual legit sequel, and yeah, it did pretty bad. I don't know who's clamoring up for a Streets of Rage movie. Who really cares? Really, Kevin?
No, I just like seeing things. I like things. I
But
like seeing things fail. That's it.
There's
but hold on before we do it. So
yeah.
the guy who's working on the movie is the guy who created and written John Wick, which that actually says a lot. That's actually pretty good.
That's not bad. That's
Derek
not bad.
Derek Kolstad, that's the guy's name, and he's working on the script for that. He's also working on the new John Wick movie, and he also did the movie Nobody. If
Okay.
anybody's seen it with Bob
I would
Odenkirk,
Oh yeah,
that was a really good
that
movie.
was fucking.
Yeah,
I just
that
watched
was
it again
that
last
was
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am having some faith in it. We'll see how that
Cool,
turns out.
cool.
So he's good with the violent action movies. So Streets of
Yeah.
Rage, obviously
You know
violent
what?
action movie or violent action game. So we'll see how that goes. Aside from that, sorry. They have a co-producer, Dimitri M. Johnson. He is helping with that as well. He had worked on the Sonic 2 movie, Magnificent
Okay.
Seven, The Equalizer. So yeah, so they got some good people working on this thing, so which is interesting. But again, like I take these fucking announcements with a grain of salt because you never know how these things are. Sometimes they take it seriously, sometimes they don't. I don't have a lot of faith with video game movies anymore, but they got a good lineup for
But
writers.
having all those writers and directors and stuff to be attached to it already, that's actually a big plus. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
usually when you get those combination of things, they can kind of get what they want almost.
Mhm.
So you never know. I mean, and if you would have just told me they're making a Streets of Rage movie, I'm like, no, fuck you, this is stupid. I can't.
Like Streets of
But
Rage
you
is such
fucking
an
doing it
obscure
before.
random game to come up with. Like you think Uibo would be the one working on this shit.
Yeah, but okay, also the biggest problem is that if you know the actual story of Streets of Rage, it's fucking stupid. It's like the mayor was an disgraced mayor, and then he became a brawler, and something about drug. It's just fucking out of whack, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's really
know,
weird.
they were better off making a movie of Rival City Girls because it's the same fucking premise as Streets of
Is
Rage.
it?
Just with her, yeah, it's literally the same premise. Just their boyfriends get kidnapped.
Yeah,
High school is just running out of school and beating people up.
yeah.
Boyfriends just took
For the mayor dude, I would think they hired Jesse the Body Ventura for that shit because that'd be perfect. Former mayor. I don't know. I have no idea. I just think that would be a funny image.
I haven't seen him on TV in the longest time, but yeah, probably was the basic design back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question. I know this is a dumb question. I haven't played the original Streets of Rage, but are they like twin brothers, like identical or something?
I think you're thinking of Double Dragon.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Double Dragon. Yeah.
Streets of Rage, you're choosing from either 3 or 4 characters, and they each have their own like slight move sets. Obviously, your arcade games, you only have like 3 or 4 buttons, so there's only so much you can do.
Wait, Streets of Rage with like from the Capcom, correct?
Is it Capcom? Is it
yes,
Danny?
Because
Okay.
Okay, so then it's either they're gonna have Cody, Guy, and what the fuck is his name? Because he's in Marvel. He's in a Marvel versus Capcom. Guard.
Who? Yeah, he's on it. Yeah. Yes.
So
actually, the original publisher was Sega.
Oh.
Yeah, I see it here. Sega. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
it makes sense now, but yeah.
Yeah. And then now I'm thinking about it. I know I'm going off topic with this one, but my idea of the Hungry Hippos movie is just it's near peak. We're at
John Wick to do Hungry Hippos. There you go, right there.
They get the director that
so the hippo had a human pet, and the human died, so the hippo's out for revenge.
Yeah, and his 4 brothers.
And his 4
It's like 4 brothers, but with 4
4 brothers, but with 4 hippos. They are protecting the streets.
Exactly. All honesty, I'm looking forward to it. But movie tie-in games, I know they're gonna make a movie of a game, and then they're gonna make a game of the movie of the game. I know that.
I don't know. I think that would be something that's potential that could happen in the 90s or maybe even early 2000s. I don't think that's something that would happen now. I don't know if, like a movie based off of a game based off of a movie. Like we're not gonna see Street Fighter the movie, the game, the movie, or whatever.
No, we're not gonna.
Not anymore.
We're not. No, but do you remember Dragon Ball Evolve?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It had a game.
Are you serious?
Yes, and it was like Budokai, but bad.
So it had the character models from the movie?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not surprised if they make like the SpongeBob movie that recently came out. They make a movie of that game, and then make a movie of the game of the movie, but make it a sequel.
Those cartoony type things, yeah, they could easily get away with that kind of stuff. I feel like they have more of a pass when it comes to that.
But Streets of Rage isn't because they
know
the game. Yeah, they're gonna make it
because so here's the thing though, because like all right, let's say for example, Streets of Rage is a video game. It's a very unrealistic video game, and if you were to make a movie, let's say the Streets of Rage movie was animated. If the Streets of Rage movie was animated, I feel that gives it more of a pass for it to do a video game based off the movie because it's animated, it's cartoony, it's still unrealistic. But if you do Streets of Rage live action, I think it would be stupid to do a video game based off the movie, which is a live action thing, because it doesn't translate the same way.
What are you talking about? The Mario Brothers movie was amazing, and it was live action.
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo both hate that movie with a passion.
Well, Bob Hoskins don't hate anything right now.
Shut up. Rest in peace.
Yeah, I love that act. I really do.
Yeah. He was, man. I loved him in like Old Boy. He did some. Sorry, not Old Boy. Not Old Boy. I'm sorry, not Old Boy.
Old Dog. The Jet Li movie.
It was the Jet Li movie where he's on a collar. He's like a slave. It's not Old Boy. Not Good Boy.
Good Boy.
I know the foreign
They
translation
changed
of
it
it
from like
was Dan the dog. It was
Danny the dog.
Danny the dog, but that wasn't the American
Yeah.
release title. I can't remember what it was. Oh man, but yeah, but
What was the guy's name again?
what?
Not Jelly, the other guy.
Bob
Mario
Hoskins?
brother guy. Bob
Yeah,
Hoskins.
Danny the dog. But
Well,
it but Mario.
Unleashed.
God, Mario was so bad.
Unleashed.
Unleashed. Yeah,
Yeah. I like Danny the dog better, but it does sound harsh for American.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. So yeah, I guess if you're looking forward to it, you're looking forward to it. It's all good. There's a lot of video game movies coming out, so we'll see how that turns out.
But
Um,
again,
yo,
I think the
yeah,
premise of I can see it being a fun movie with those people attached to it.
yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I would 100% downplay it and
mhm.
wish it was an anime. If it was an anime, it'd be real fun. You can see all types of shit because you can
Hmm.
pull off. And that's the thing.
All
I
the
mean, they don't
moves
really
and
have
stuff.
any power. They don't have power, so it's fine. But still, it was more
But they
realistic.
could
Just
exaggerate with the move
punching
sets.
people and throwing them. But
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
my nah, it's not exaggerated because guy was basically doing don't quote me for this, the cheap Tatsumaki.
It's true.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
No, but
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it really was just like the moves are more realistic to like not even like karate, just like what a fight would be, really cheesy. Granted, obviously, you're not gonna be throwing kicks shit like in a fight, but still, they were like just simple punches and kicks and stuff, you know. So it just kind of make I don't know,
I can see
but
it.
I can see I would much rather have it be exaggerated in a good karate film of like
Yeah,
Hmm.
a John Wick type style.
That's what I'm hoping
Just,
for. It's just a good
yeah,
martial arts film.
yeah. Like if it's choreographed amazingly, if it's done like the choreograph could be amazing in that movie, and the movie could be dumb because, in all
yeah.
due respect, Streets of Rage is it's a dumb story.
Hmm.
Well,
But
John Wick is a horrible story.
It's a
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
very
that's done.
cliche,
That's it.
generic
Story.
story.
Oh my god.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
The
I
second
mean,
one
it's
is
no
just
crazy
like
than
wow.
Do you remember Ong Bak? Ong Bak was just as
Yeah,
ridiculous. Like you kidnap the guy's elephant, and he goes out and just
Yeah.
it's
So
like
And,
it is still an
yeah,
amazing movie.
and then that's not because the story in those movies is not what you give a shit about. You don't really care about what's going on in the fucking in that weird hotel thing. It's just a scene. It's
Yeah.
just a
hmm
set,
For
basically.
those who don't know what I'm talking about, like Ong Bak, the American title for it is the Protector, and it's with oh geez,
John, no, you about to mess with Tony Jaa?
Tony Jaa. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Tony
yeah.
Tony Jaa, Jaa, he is fucking awesome with his movies, and it's
Hmm.
they have this one really cool scene where he's climbing up. Was it a hotel? Or a club or it was some sort of building, and the whole
Oh,
movie
wow,
was
yeah.
done. I mean, sorry, not the whole movie. The whole
The whole scene.
scene was shot once. Like it was a one shot scene from ground floor all the way up to either
Oh, you're talking about
mid
when he
to
climbs from the bottom of the steps all the
yeah, and he
way up.
works his way up fighting it's almost equivalent to the Daredevil show where they did that one scene where he's fighting from the top floor of the building and he works his way back down like all in one shot. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty much like that. It was really well done.
I think that's what made me into like watch more martial arts movies because of that scene alone was just like it being done in one shot and like everything that's happening like when he breaks like the glass and everything on people. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, and then some of the people are like, yeah, he really kicked the shit.
Yeah.
like he really broke ribs. I was like, oh yeah, damn.
Yeah.
They did a great job at using
Hmm.
prosthetic helmets on their head so they can just go out and hit you as hard as you want on the
Mhm.
head.
Yeah,
You obviously everybody had like these crazy hair,
yeah,
on their head because it was helmets underneath. But
Mhm.
they did a
yeah.
great job, and that was something that Jackie Chan had perfected, in their clothing underneath, so they can really hit him in the chest
Mhm.
and like the dust will come out type of thing, and it looked
Yeah.
like he really kicked that guy. That's something that he had perfected, and then using the hat helmets just slightly so he can hit him in the head. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they just did much more exaggerated with the Muay Thai.
yeah.
Um
Going back to the movie thing.
yeah.
I just hope that they go if they do start it. I know this is gonna be me stretching it. I hope they do not go to 4. I hope they just either stay between 1 to 2 because those were okay, and the characters, well, you'll know them. Like everybody, Not everybody's gonna know them, but
I bet you they're
gonna be
just gonna
more.
do their own story. I don't think they're
Yeah,
gonna
they're
stick
Oh,
with
so
any
it's
of that
just
stuff.
it's just another. It's gonna be just like Resident Evil, huh? With like
Yeah,
characters that don't look,
they're
look
just
like.
Again, because there isn't much story to
there
really
isn't much
follow
to it.
anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, the original story, it's mostly contact, the text real quick in the beginning, but
Mhm.
it's a crazy, stupid thing about vigilante ex-police officers trying to stop gangs. That's it.
Hollywood likes to take liberties all the time anyway, so I
Mm.
doubt they'll stick that much to the story. Aside from maybe some character, some like character arcs or character
Yeah,
development was. So that's pretty much it with that. Like,
I hope they start to.
and then it's a weird, like it's a game that's based off of 90s white people gangs, because it's really not like, like Crips and
yeah,
Bloods.
they had those like
It's
punk
something.
rock looks and
Yeah, exactly. So it's how do you make that? How do you modernize that now today without losing the aesthetics of Streets of Rage? Do you keep that? Like I'm kind of interested. Do you keep that, or you try to modernize it? Do you try to like a modern day
Here-
gang? Do you leave the whole movie based in the 90s?
Here's
Like,
the
it's a lot of
story.
questions.
Here's the story, and I bet you this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be 4 cops. All 4 of them are cops, and maybe even one of them is like the chief of police, which is Haggard, or he's gonna be the
Yeah.
mayor as he is in the games. There's gonna be 4 political figures, and they see how they see how corrupt and how messed up the streets are and stuff. So they eventually become vigilantes, and they all group up together, and they all like just stop like this big gang or this big group of like drug dealers or whatever, and and all hell
Hold on.
breaks loose.
Hold on, I can add to this. And then they save one person, and then he was like, they just do the most cliche movie shit ever, and they name drop the title. And he's just like, oh my god, it's so crazy. These streets of rage.
These streets of rage. And then they look at the camera.
If they make the movie cheesy like that, I would love it for self-awareness. But
self-awareness, that would be funny.
I would love them to do a last action hero version. The last action hero was like 100%
very meta.
satire of meta satire of itself. Complete like just a joke, right? And super over exaggerated. And I wish that but it wasn't like fuck the name of it, but it was very exaggerated and comical, but it's still supposed to be action. Like I want them just to do it. They should do a video game version of that, because you can't take these shit seriously, and then but do like awesome badass fucking martial arts, but then everything else is fucking crazy and stupid. Just like have fun with it. Fuck it,
At one point, they have to find a whole turkey in a trash can and eat it for health.
And eat it. What if they do what if they go like the cheap route and they just make it like like people get trapped in the game or something and they got to beat the game on some dumb shit like that?
Oh man. All right. Let's move on. That's fucking funny.
Wait, I have one more point.
Final thoughts.
Final thought. They have to start the movie with text, like the Hagar face.
90s action video games. Yeah.
Start it off like that. You already doing the movie.
Yeah. That's true. All right. So the second article we got right now, fairly short. I actually just wanted to really give props to it. If anything, we're all Elden Ring fans. Obviously, we're having fun with Elden Rings. The second article I got from IGN. They had they wanted to talk about the fact that there is a character, there's a player in the community. It's called, his name is Let Me Solo Her. And this person literally will be waiting for people to summon him in multiplayer in order to fight for you Millennia, Blade of Miquella, which is one of the hardest bosses in the game. A lot of people have a difficult time with her. So he can be summoned. He is completely naked, aside from his 2 katana swords and a bucket on his head, or a pot on his head. So he legit, he helps people out. Everybody knows, well, almost everybody knows who he is in the community. And he has become so popular, he's become so legendary that there is an actual modder, Garden of Eyes, who has created him to be an NPC summon who could be summoned at any time now. So it does replace the wolf Ashes of War, the lone wolf, like the 3 wolves that attack and stuff. It does replace it because it's obviously a mod, but he's ultra powerful. He can still kick ass pretty much, and yeah, see, he's a fucking legendary character now. It's crazy how his reputation is so well known. What do you guys think about that?
I just think it's funny. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun that they had a little became a mod and became almost a meme and everything. And there's this one guy who's literally just helping people would
Yeah.
make it with a boss had to go. I perfected the boss, because it's like any boss in this game. You can beat them. Armor is kind of I was made, so I didn't have any armor really.
Yeah.
So
Well, most people assume that if you're coming in completely naked, it's because you don't
You
plan
know,
on getting hit. You know what you're doing.
exactly.
you're not gonna get hit anyway. Then what's the
Right.
point armor?
Right.
It'd be lighter, move around a little faster. So it's just I find that to be interesting, good like homage to that's fun.
Yeah.
And it destroys the joy that this game has brought a lot of people. People just trying to have as much fun as they can with it.
Mm-hmm.
In many different ways.
I have a different take on it. No bullshit. I actually ran into this individual. So I got because I was doing the same thing. Before this, I actually watched a video about let me solo her, and they were like, he said, or they said, that it took him 285 tries to beat him.
For
Before
himself when he was
by
learning.
himself, by himself,
Yeah.
yeah, when he was learning. And then he was like, shit, if it's hard for me and I beat her, I might as well start helping people out. So after I beat her the first time, I started helping people because I was like, man, this boss is fucking annoying. And then like I got summoned, and then the person that was next to me was let me solo her, and I was like, yo, I was like, nah, I gotta give it to because I didn't know them at the time, and I watched him fight the boss by himself, and straight up destroying her. Like I was like, this is not even fair.
Yeah.
It's not. So he killed them, and then we were all just there dancing. We were celebrating because we beat the boss, and I already beat the boss, but I was just like, I didn't think of anything about it, and then I ran into them again. This was like when I was playing. I was basically running this boss for like 3 hours, and I ran into this person 5 separate times. And I'm like, nah, this boy, he's on a mission. And then I saw the video, I was like, I played with this like 2 months ago. Straight up soloing this boss. And I was like, nah. I've seen so many people that are that follow the trend. Like there was one with like 2 twin blades destroying her. I've seen another one with like the 2 big swords destroying her. But when I saw the katanas, I was like, all right. At that point, I switched my whole build. I was like, I'm switching it. I'm going straight to bleed.
So here's the thing, though, to lead into the next article and our main topic is that this guy is carrying these katanas, and you'd assume that the reason why he's carrying these katanas is because the bleed effect in the game overall, a lot of people use it, and it's very, very useful effect. So Elden Ring had recently released another patch, and in this patch they nerfed the bleed effect. They nerfed the buildup, and they also nerfed the swarm, the blood swarm. So the blood swarm has another even less blood buildup, especially for Millennia. So now she's even harder to deal with if you're overall a blood build type of character. Now, to add insult to injury, I'm pretty sure they were saying this, but this is a glitch in the patch. But now, so Millennia, when she hits people, she heals. She doesn't even need to hit people now to heal. She could literally swing her sword and she heals automatically without having to hit anything.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So a lot of people are upset and having a hard time with this nerf because a lot of people, like myself, I have a blood build. And so the blood buildup is an important aspect of it. I have everything set up perfectly, so I have not only a faster blood build, but to deal more damage once I deal blood damage. So a lot of people are upset that every time From Software releases a patch, they're always nerfing something that affects somebody's build. And this brings me to a bigger question a lot of people have been asking and stuff, and that's pretty much, should developers be nerfing things like this, nerfing games that are mostly focused? I'm not going to say completely single player, because obviously there's slight multiplayer elements into Elden Ring, but this is still a single player experience. Should they be nerfing things that's a single player experience? because
game's not really. I mean,
it's affecting me and my build. So now I have to mess around with things because you want to fuck around with what worked for me. Go ahead, Daniel.
the game is a huge PvP game as well, though.
Mhm.
It is.
There are people
That's almost the biggest argument.
one fifty.
That's what I can't get
So,
around is that I understand that a lot of people like the
technically, it's not.
PvP stuff.
Yeah. So it's technically not a single player game. If it was like, I don't know, Borderlands or something you're doing, then this conversation makes sense because there is no PvP in Borderlands, right? But there's a lot of PvP, so the blood aspect was affecting people where everybody's just running one type of build, Rivers of Blood.
Mhm.
And this is a game that encourages all the builds to be every build to be equal. So most builds, like most of the patches, have been like 90% buffs and then 10% nerfs. And it sucks that it sucks. Something always gonna get nerfed in the game, no matter what, right? There's always something that's a little too the meta. Usually, like they call it the meta, and then everybody's copying this thing, which is why this game is so great because you have so many different styles, and they all should be balanced. That's the goal, is to balance everything, right? So they've increased all the magic shit again for incantations all the way down every single aspect of the way the casting speeds are but they balanced everything. Some things are increased, but some moves have been a little slower to start up. They're creating good balances, and a lot of it is for PvP. Because not some of the moves, spells especially, aren't fair in PvP, and some of the useless, absolutely useless in PvP. So this makes it more interesting. And the blood buildup was basically once you catch somebody with the first swarm, that's it, you won. Done. There is no more after that because they get locked. They get stun locked because of the animation. So everybody's always said that they always thought that the full animation was always a glitch anyway. That it shouldn't have been so exaggerated as the giant blood fucking clot coming out of you, and then you fucking stagnate a little.
So why not just nerf the animation timing? Because they've done that for other things too. Such, for example, they've also nerfed the madness thing. But the buildup itself has been nerfed as well.
Madness was a huge one.
Yeah,
Madness.
It took forever.
There's a talisman, and there's one talisman you can put on, and one like helm. That's it. That's all you need. And if you do the eye beam one that shoots you from afar, that's it. You're done. You're locked.
Everything that's like throwing around everywhere.
No, not that one.
Okay,
it's one you shoot from like a mile away, and its beam that it had, its trail will catch you with the madness. You don't even take any damage, but the trail of the laser beam that it did. You have to dodge it exactly, almost frame perfect to dodge it. And if you don't do that, you can get hit with the madness, and then you just get hit. Then you just get stun locked, and then it shouldn't be. There shouldn't be a stun lock like that. That's not.
Yeah,
fair.
I agree. I agree.
And also got to remember, bosses tend to act like PvP people. So that means you're stun locking bosses, and then that also is not fair.
The stun lock thing, I could agree with, but it's I still don't think that they should be nerfing. They should be messing with the actual build up, whatever it may be, whether it be madness, whether it be blood, whether it be death, whatever your build is, because you're so used to it. And the thing is that you can buff other things. So you're telling me that you can buff the magic stuff even more so, because we already know that you can stand 5 miles away and you can fuck me up easily because you're a magic build versus me who's completely melee. So he's gonna benefit even more from like 1 or 2 shotting me, if anything, with a magic spell versus me. Now I have to spend even more time to build up that blood meter in order for me to deal enough damage. And granted, you can take away that stun lock. I completely agree with that. But you should still be able to take the same amount of damage and the same amount of blood buildup, so that way I can finish off this person as quickly as he could to me. Well, but now you've nerfed my thing.
The mace spells aren't overpowered in PvP. Like the moon fucking one is the most powerful one,
but it's slow.
Kanakea blast. You're not gonna hit. Those are the only things that can really one shot you with magic, right? The ones that people use is the
meteor, the rock throws.
The meteor, the casting time to actually do that fucking
lightning throws.
You just die. You just death. the lightning spells, the incantations, some of those in PvP are a little broken, but it's even not even just broken, it's actually a little more balanced because like if you watch people do PvP against mages, mages mostly lose. Like mage loses most of the time. There's a few of them that they have good setups, but a setup
Mhm.
is different. It's the same way two melee fighters have to fight each other. They have to set each other up,
Mm-hmm.
fake an attack or whatever it is. And it's the same thing with a mage. A mage has to set up the certain spells in the air above them to have it hit and then fake it with a different spell that he knows gonna miss. So like it's lots of different setups for PvP, and that's why they adjust it, and which is what it is. A lot of the movements or the startups, so
Mhm.
everything's kind of balanced, so that certain other spells might not start. Maybe now that was super useless in PvP might start working again. Might working, and that's I think it's kind of fun because it's them trying to keep everything balanced.
Yeah, of course.
And the the
Cat.
blood thing with the swarm was just another stun lock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You got locked and then you died. But
yeah.
they didn't nerf any of the stuff that everybody thought. Everybody thought Rivers of Blood was gonna get nerfed, like the amount of damage it
Well,
does.
not
Because
yet. A
it's
lot
the
of
same
people
damage.
assumed for the last two patches that Rivers of Blood was
Yeah,
about to get patched. I mean, sorry, nerfed, but it ended up being Moonveil that got nerfed. So that's why people are expecting that Rivers of Blood was going to get nerfed next. But Kevin,
yeah.
I know you haven't said your thoughts yet. Go ahead.
I don't really mind because even for me, I felt like blood was too broke. It was broken. It was like it's unfair
Hmm.
the amount of shit you can get away with. Like you can do with Millennia, right? You can throw the swarm. You run up to her, hit her twice. That's already 50%. Plus the blood swarm's gonna keep ticking her, so she's already gonna lose 30% before she even starts swinging. And I found that to be like, and like it became boring after a point. So I started using. I have bleed because I have the uchi katana, the long katana, but then I
Yeah.
also have frost because I like doing actual damage. Like I like them. I like the 20%. Is it 20 or 30% that it gives you on the defense down? Uh, I think it's 20, but but I uh, I use that, and then like the bleed is just extra. Like because if
Do
I
you use
focus,
that dragon that it's called Dragon Frost? Like it's called Dragon
no no
Lightning.
no no
You
no the
should use that. It's
yeah.
the one that you fight that boss in the middle of the blood. You know that big blood area you have to walk through.
Oh yeah, I got that.
The rot in the middle. There's a boss there and it has a lightning blade. It does both blood and frost damage.
I'm definitely gonna think of
No.
getting that one. But
Yeah,
yeah, I started using blood and frost because I like the frost and I have the ice, so they can't really get far and it doesn't affect me as much because the blood build my arcane is too high that even if they nerf it, the buildup is not gonna really matter to me because it just matters how many hits I get off. And then if I use swarm, they're gonna be dodging the whole time. I'm just gonna dash after them with bloodhound step, swipe, and then swipe again, and then they're gonna start bleeding and then the frost is going
So
to stop them from moving.
here's a question because I guess clearly the way you guys are explaining it that I guess I'm a bit biased when it comes to it because I am a blood build, so it kind of affects me
but
more
yeah,
than other people like
Yeah,
that. So I mean, it makes sense because it affects PvP more so, which I hate doing PvP, so I avoid it as much as possible.
and that's what the
So
majority of it is right now.
yeah,
That people are playing and hoping to continue to play because they enjoy doing different PvP builds and seeing what working and then switching it up and then blah blah blah.
hmm
so
yeah.
my question is like, what are your thoughts on it now, straying away from Elden Ring specifically? Like what, because it has been done before.
Yeah,
There have been developers that have nerfed, like you mentioned, like Borderlands,
yes,
for example.
I
They
was
have
just
nerfed
gonna yeah.
single player games. So what are your thoughts on that?
I
I
was
just
gonna say that in the past, especially FromSoft was like a big one to do, where they'll nerf a great aspect of things that everybody loved in the game. You
hmm
know, the magic or whatever it is, magic spell was too powerful, they cut it in half. It's like what the fuck? Why? You know,
hmm
like there's no reason to kind of nerf the game. You're playing by yourself, just playing by yourself to have fun. Who gives a fuck? You
hmm
know. And in the past, they have nerfed the hell out of something that made no sense to nerf. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because and this game, I don't feel like they've done drastic nerfs. None of the nerfs
yeah.
that they've done in this game right now have been drastic. Have been nerfs. It's been mostly buffs, which is kind of insane if you think about it. You know, instead of like arcane, like blood was still OD powerful. People still had blood builds. Then they made it 10 times more powerful with fixing the arcane. and instead of bringing the damage back down, they left it alone. You know, and there's a lot of different things in this game that instead magic, for instance, they cut magic's super powerful against bosses. There's fucking Kamehameha shots. They went, okay, we'll decrease the magic now. It takes less mana for you to do all these spells, by the way. Like, they've done nothing but buffs in this game, which I think is fun for a game like this because it's a game that you're already having fun with. Now they're like, here, have more fun.
So
More
again,
damage,
though,
more
what about
stuff.
other regular single player games? Do you agree with it being with things being buffed that are single player experiences that don't have any PvP or
Well,
multiplayer elements?
well, that's what I'm
Mm,
saying. So I think people should learn from this to like other single player games where the whole point of the game is to play the game, beat the game, have fun with the game, right? And then especially after you beat the fucking thing, you're gonna do nothing but just have fun, right? You want an incentive of why to keep playing. You don't want a decentive, and nerfs only give single player games a decent
Yeah.
a decent.
All right. I gotta stop you there for a second though, because you're right, and I completely agree with you on it. But you're also seeing it as just your own perspective. Remember, there are people who
Or just starting the
who
game for the
can't
first time.
binge a game or starting the game for the first time. So what if I just started to play Borderlands? Let's say I just started to play Borderlands 3 for the first time yesterday, and I'm on level 5 right now, and now or actually not even. Let's say I'm on level 20. Like, say I've been grinding the hell out of it lately, and then they released a patch, and this particular class or these particular weapons classes or something like that got a nerf.
mhm.
Now I have to change my play style, or now I'm not enjoying it as much because haven't beaten the game yet. So I can't have as fun with it as you would think you could have fun with it because you beat the game and you can fuck around however you'd like. But I'm still new. I'm still trying to play the game. I'm still trying to have fun with the game the way that I want to play it. But now these developers don't want to let me do that because they're nerfing the shit out of the class or the weapons or the armor that I was having fun with.
Well,
Yeah, but you see,
although I do want your perspective on it, on how you would deal with it, which I completely agree with, I also just want you guys to consider the fact that there are other people still trying to play the game the way they want to.
okay, so I have a point. I don't know if it's valid or anything, but mainly with well, there's 2 points. Mainly with FromSoft games in general, the whole premise is to get better in the nicest
Yes,
way possible. It's a
yes,
fucked up method, but it's
get
like
good.
get good. It's a nicest way of saying it. But especially with single player games, I don't. I think the main goal of every single player developer, like game creator, is that they want everyone to have different, like a variety of experiences.
Mhm.
You can be bad. You can be bad and be like playing the game and you feel like, oh, I'm frustrated in this and third, and then there's like something that changes in the game and it makes you like better at playing the game. Somewhere. You know what I mean? Because the only way I can see it as is fighting games, and I'm gonna take my shot. I swear. Uh, Nerfs happen so fucking often that it's like as much as I breathe oxygen, like 7 nerfs happen for
Mhm.
characters that I play. So I'm used to it. But with single player games, I just think it's like they want diversity. They want the diversity in the sense of everybody having their own individual experience, good or bad. They want them to play it their way. They don't want them to be like, oh, you just use blood and blood beats the game for you, or you just use frost and frost beats the game, or you use magic, it cleans the game for you. Like I understand that it's like not everybody's gonna think like that, and I at first didn't start thinking like that, but I want a game to be everybody can play it and everybody can enjoy it differently. It doesn't
I
have to be
like
the
that.
same thing.
I like that explanation. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Yeah, and nerfs, like some of these are nerfs, but it's like it's understandable because Dan, you know, fucking blood was broken. It didn't make sense.
Yeah. That's why
It
you
Mhm.
did not.
chose it.
Yeah, I did, of course. And then I got bored with it, and then I first started with poison, and then I went to blood, and then I was like, all right, blood's boring. Let me go do frost, and now I like frost, Scarlet Rot, and with poison. So everything I like. I like tick damage. I like that. You're panicking now you're on the clock. If you heal, I'm gonna keep hitting you. So that's what I like. I like the idea of I always have to keep you on your toes no matter what, because the moment you give me air, you get poison. Or you can just go to sleep. I can just put you to sleep and then I can just watch you. I can
I
teabag
think
you,
that's
you know.
broken. I think that's broken. That's next.
Yeah,
They need to
yeah,
fix
yeah,
it.
yeah. They need to fix
This
it.
is completely broken.
Sleep is disgusting.
Completely broken. And they know it.
Yeah.
But there
Yeah.
are, but the good thing is there aren't many weapons or things that do it. So that's where
There's
it's kind
only
of balanced, I guess. Where there
there's
aren't
only
too
two
many,
weapons.
and if you catch it, it's like, well,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
deserve to get caught by that
Bro,
shit. You know?
the fact that you could put a boss to sleep is just bewildering to me. But
So
that's the
and you always got to think of the aspect of what the developer or the gamer developer is trying to do. Like
yeah, and
they're
then
Yeah.
not doing nerf to fuck with you. They're doing nerf because they think that they're trying to balance their game for if a new player or somebody comes in can play this game balanced and enjoy the game the way they perceive. Because that's ultimately what
Yeah.
you make a movie. They
Mhm.
want a movie that they way they perceive to make the
That
game,
that
and they
does
try
make a
to
lot of
actually
sense
enjoy it.
because the way that Kevin was explaining it's almost like if they didn't patch the game, then everyone would want to. There's a meta to every game.
They would do it.
There's a
Yeah,
meta to
it
every
would.
game. So for them to not patch a game, everyone would play the same way because that is the best way
yeah.
to play the game, which will make things
Mhm.
boring and water down the experience for a lot of people because they're all playing
Yeah.
the same way. So it makes sense to patch things in order for
Mhm.
everyone to experience it differently. I like that explanation.
Yeah,
And that's why I like. And I'm kissing all those guys again. I don't give a fuck. That's why I like this game so much because you can't have so many. There is no meta. There is no one ultimate powerful fucking build set. There's
Bill.
not. Like,
Hmm.
mage is no more powerful than incantation. Then it's no more powerful than strength. That's why they boosted up strength, so it could be just as strong as fucking all the rest of these things now. You
Hmm.
know, or it's
Yeah,
just as powerful as arcane. Like
yeah.
there is no. You can have any kind of playstyle that you like. I just personally like to have mages, so I shouldn't because I personally love mages. They shouldn't be overpowered or underpowered in any way. They should be balanced. And there are a
Hmm.
lot of
You want?
people who love Dex build and they should be balanced. And I think that's what they're trying to do. And instead of pushing one to make the other ones go up, they're just fucking pushing it up. And I think that's great. And I think other games should learn from this. They're like, oh, you're having fun with that? Good. Let me look. You can have even more fun with this other build too. We're gonna boost
Mhm.
it up. Why don't you try that and see how much fun you
Yeah,
have?
and that's why
And
they
I think
allow
a
you
lot
to
of games
they
do
allow
that.
you to respec things
Re-
too.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Because the thing I like about this game is that I don't know Souls like before two. I've never played one or Demon Souls. And I didn't know about the respec thing. Once I found out about that, I was like, you can change your specs whenever. I'm
Hmm.
like, if I don't like a build, I can just change it. And if I don't like that build, I can change and I
That's
can keep changing.
That's actually what
That's
happened with me when I originally played the game and Danny was helping me through it. Once I got
Oh, yeah.
even after I got up to her, actually even well past that, after I got up to the respec boss,
mhm,
I was too well rounded with everything. I put my stats anywhere and everywhere, and I kept everything a little
mhm,
too even. So I didn't have anything specific to focus on for quite a while until Danny sent me a bunch of links to different play styles that I might be interested in. He sent me one that was a dragon incantation focus, one that was a blood build, one that was a mage-ish type of thing, like with death stuff.
It was
And
like a Dex match, yeah.
yeah, so I was just like, oh, this katana one looks really, really cool because I'm already a samurai. It makes a lot of sense. Let me do the katana thing. And so I was just like, all right, fuck it. Let me just respec, and I ended up doing it. And I was like, yeah, that's when I started having more fun with the game. Is when I finally
mhm.
respec to the build that I wanted.
Yeah,
Mm.
I definitely agree with that. Oh, and I forgot they added something. You know, your mimic can suffer from status ailments now.
Yeah,
Yeah, they couldn't
Yeah,
do
he
it
could. He
before.
could. I've seen
Yeah.
him die on death.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
terrifying. I saw him. I was like, yeah, he's 1v1 in that boss. He's about to beat their ass. Just straight up gets stabbed up and dies. I was like,
yeah,
oh well, there goes my mimic.
yeah.
As
But
a bait, I had to stop using as a bait. I had to stop using the mimic because he would just die. He'd be trying to do like the Kamehameha blast at the worst fucking time, or he'd be facing the wrong fucking way, or
I guess the boss
he'd be
just
right in
gets
front of the
blocked.
boss and he drops an AOE fucking area effect that just increases
You
his damage.
should
So what the fuck are
you
you
should
doing?
um you
I
should
can't
you
play
should
with the boss.
equip melee stuff on. I mean, I know you are a mage, but like equip melee stuff on yourself and then summon the
Honestly,
mimic and then switch to your
yeah.
magic stuff because your
That's
mimic will
the thing.
carry whatever it is that you're carrying at that moment.
He switches weapons. You know that, right?
But he starts
It
off with
really
those
the
things.
game. I don't know what it is. I feel like whatever moves that you actually use, fucking mimic does too.
Yeah.
If all you
Oh
do
no.
Dude,
No,
my mimic
no.
stabs himself constantly. With the seppuku thing, he stabs himself constantly. I'm like, yo, just aggro the damn boss. And he's over there
No,
stabbing himself.
But he still use it. It's because you always use that move first.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
why he uses that move. That's what I'm saying. So
You
if
out
you
here.
use your spells mostly, then you be using the spells. But because you always use that, I feel like it has
No,
like statistics on what your top
no,
moves
no,
are, and then tries to do it.
no. That's cat. So my mimic, right? There's an item that you get that lets you, the from the dung eater that he goes and then he shoots all the
Yeah.
little.
What do you
Yeah,
hang it on?
my mimic keeps popping that every 30 seconds, like every 10 seconds. You just hear.
He's just mad. He's just mad.
Do you know there's a build with that to boost the fuck out of that thing?
I
Yeah.
know.
Of course, there's a build for everything, but
There's
there's
a
a build to boost the shit out of that. And it does a lot of damage too. It's pretty fun.
Yo, I've seen so many shit happen with that mimic that it's to the point that I don't even understand. Like I've seen my mimic
I
pull
don't
out.
I don't use the mimic anymore because he would just do random stupid shit that would piss me off.
I
So
like to
I use
summon
the
the fucking shadowy ninja dagger dude. I forget the guy's
Oh, the
name.
yeah
black knight, the black
Yeah.
knight.
Yeah,
yeah
he's quick and
I
he'll
use him.
yeah.
That movie uses that does like 50% health no matter what they are. Like
Mhm.
it's not blood. It's not, I don't know what it is. It's not a blood. It's not.
It's
Oh,
I have
overpowered.
no idea.
the
It's super
the beam.
special.
The grab and the
Yeah, the beam.
stab and the yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Kangaroo. Yeah.
it works on the Elden Beast who can't get blood damage. It works on everything. It's just a percentage health and it automatically gets on them. And it's part of the lore. It's part of the lore how they were able to kill with that blade. That's why they haven't nerfed the blade, ironically.
Mm.
Hmm.
And those they actually turn invisible and they were able to kill Godric, the first Golden Lord. They were able to assassinate him, or the one of the son. They were
They're
able to
Rannies.
assassinate
They're
him.
Rannies. Ranny? Not Ranny.
Yeah, Randy.
They're Rannies
Randy.
like
Randy.
goons, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He set them out on them, set them to do it after the death room. They stole the death room,
Right,
and
right,
they
Hmm.
right.
said that it was actually no, it wasn't Rennie. It was America.
Yeah.
America actually did it, and it's like this whole fuck. It's like almost like controversy, almost like she tried to destroy her own. Because remember, she tries to destroy the. She tries to destroy the Elden Ring, and the guy inside of him, that the fuck guy you fight at the end,
Radigan,
basically
yeah.
stops him. Radigan stops himself, basically. It's very confusing, but yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, the part of the lore is that those people, the way they were able to use it is from those daggers and the power that they have. This is why they'll never nerf it, which is why I think it's kind of cool. I wish in the
Wow.
game though they would add more of the actual, like the next part, more of this cool story, more visualized. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm.
I mean, I know a lot of people like those, like in Destiny, to like the lore stuff that's in behind weapons and stuff, and that's a big Elden, FromSoft or whatever thing to do anyway, is have
Hmm.
all the lore within the weapons. But it's a great story. R. Martin wrote this fucking great story. George R. Martin wrote this great thing that you can't really see. You know
It
what I mean?
makes a
Like I
lot
would
more
love to
sense
have
in the
more.
Dark Souls series.
Yes, it does make more sense with Dark Souls series, but I would love to see like the Game of Thrones movie or whatever, or anime or something of all this, because it would be really good.
Mm-hmm.
I have something to say. So, in short, sober, you're saying that it's a vision, right? That you want to see
Is
the
that a
vision of
Funko
it.
Pop? Oh,
Yeah,
that's really
Yeah.
cool.
that's really cool.
He just wants to see the vision
Does that
of
have a comic
the.
book in there?
Yeah. Hold
Yeah,
on, I got you
nice.
right
That's really
now.
cool.
Hold on. Bit of nerdiness. Look at this.
It's a very large Funko Pop box with
A
Avengers
little bit,
Vision Avengers comic and Little Vision Funko Pop.
but
A collector's
yeah.
item right there. Save
He
it in
just
10 years and might be able to buy a wedding ring with it.
exactly. And I think it would be cool if they
Or
implement
we'll
vi-
see.
visual like stories play out because I feel like I honestly do not like reading lore from a
Yeah.
fucking weapon.
Yeah,
It
me
fuck,
neither.
fuck weapon. I don't like reading at all.
Well, that's the thing with me in Destiny is that although I read some of the stuff, I really don't read all of it. I'll read gaps in between of things that I either need more clarification on or something that just interests me in general. But a lot of the time, I look up YouTube videos from My Name is Bife, which is one of them, and I forget the other guy, but they go through it in detail and they'll read it to you. So there is one person on TikTok that I follow. She goes through Elden Ring lore, and that's how I started to understand it more too. So she'll go through it and explain it. And luckily now TikTok is not just 1 minute; they have 3 minute increments, and now they have a 10 minute increment. So like now you could really take your time to explain these things on that platform, and that's why I follow her. So I'm starting to get it little by little.
I got into some of the lore stuff too, and you know, again, this game is taking over the fucking gaming industry
Yeah.
world with stuff like that. And one of them was like the translation on Ronnie was wrong. Like they literally messed up a lot of the Japanese words because they said George wrote the story, but he just wrote the story. He didn't write the dialogue.
He also had a lot
So
of limitations on what he can write on there too.
Yeah. So a lot of it got sent over to and it got written in Japanese and then translated back to English. So once it goes back and forth like that, the translation then lost itself of what the original meaning, because in Japanese, obviously, we all know that there's a lot of little words that can mean different things if they do it wrong, play translation wrong. So there's a lot of meaning behind the ending of the very ending of Ronnie, where everybody thinks it's them going into a dark place of bringing death back, and that's what she wants, and she wants to bring the world back into the stars, blah blah blah. But it was actually more written where she wanted to she felt like the golden rule was correct, which is we weren't ready for the golden rules that they were doing, the way of life how it is right now, and that one day later on we'll be ready and we're going to bring this back later, type of thing. Like it's not actually a bad ending. It's a very neutral, peaceful ending, and that's why it's supposed to be like the most neutral, but it got mistranslated. Right? Like stupid little things like that. I just find it really, because I did all 6 endings.
You did the glitch thing, right? Like you just saved and went back in. So kind of not saved. You exited quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I turned off the auto fucking syncing whatever on the PlayStation to automatically, and I did a save file. Then I did the ending. Then I manually loaded the save file. I would go into the main menu load the save file. Then it would bring me back to that point, do it another one, whatever. And then when it got to the frenzy, actually I had to do the frenzy first because I was already frenzied. Because as you know, if you get the frenzy, that's the only ending you can have.
Unless you have the needle. If you have the fixed needle, you could heal them.
Yeah. So I had to do the frenzy. I saved it there. I saved right before the frenzy. I did the frenzy so I could see it, get the achievement. Loaded back up before I did it. Did the needle thing. Right. Went back and saved it to override that I didn't have it. And then I had to save. After I saved that, then that's the file that I kept. I would go back and just load that instead. I would press the main menu button, load by save file, which brought me back there so I can do all the see all the endings and get the achievement all at once. Because I was really like, I wanted the platinum on the first run. That was my goal, and I did. But I'm kind of pissed that I started my new game plus, and I knew I shouldn't have. Because I wasn't really gonna play the game again. I knew it, but I want to do like the patches stuff.
Oh yeah, you want to mess around with it.
Finish the patches.
Yeah.
And I knew and everybody knew there was gonna be another patch on patches, and I think that's the joke on it. Every time there's a patch, there's a new patches. Get it? So, yeah, and so that's why like they purposely left his story almost empty. I think it said it finished. I don't remember. At least it said the next part of patches is done, is there. But again, I'm not gonna be able to do that because I did New Game Plus. And the only reason I really wanted to do New Game Plus is because I didn't get all the few items in the capital. And I didn't do the Alexander quest, which is the only quest in the entire game I didn't do. And I spoke to him too. Like, I didn't speak to him the second time at the fucking Coliseum place. Whatever you call it. Right against the festival.
Oh, the festival?
And I was a little upset, so that was the only item I didn't get, really. but I did everything else. Every single storyline in the game I've done. You know, so
So let's start winding down, Kevin. What were we gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I've been doing the same thing that Sober was talking about. I'm just doing more like the side quests. Like every side quest that I can do, I'm doing it now, so that when I do my third one, it's just me killing all the NPCs.
You just gotta murder everyone. Yeah. I know a lot of people started doing that too.
You don't have to do that. You just do a save file and fucking go through, save it, kill every single guy, and see what it looks like, and then
All right. So guys, let's wrap this up right now. We're about to hit about an hour and a half to it, and I have work super early in the morning, which kind of sucks for a bartender because that shouldn't be, but it is what it is.
Not me. I have a free hotel. I'm a free hotel. I'm getting my breakfast.
So this dude is chilling. He's technically working. He's chilling in the hotel room, and he's got an open bar somewhere in that building, and he's not taking advantage of it.
No, I'm not. I could have got really fucked up and just went to bed. But...
Yeah. So everybody, thank you everybody for listening and watching the show. Don't forget that we are live every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch. So join us in chat if you guys would like to. If not, you can still check out the website to check out all the episodes on the show, as well as Health Potion and game reviews that I do for the Coalition. They are all links to gamerguardians.net. There should be a link on the screen here if you guys are watching the recorded version on YouTube. And Kevin, have you been doing any streaming yet? You've been setting up?
I'm setting
planning,
up.
Right?
No, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I've been having a busy week, so I haven't been on the stream or anything. But yes, I do stream at bonusbones_TV at twitch.tv. Love to see you guys over there. I also have a YouTube, bonusbones, no_TV. And I'll see you guys over there. Later, guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
We'll see you guys. Laters.